Yeah. What
Hi.
up, man? This is Big Dave of No Country. We're doing a little something different tonight. Got the homie, my son. I lost Marvy in the building right now.
Shit boy.
And
Shit boy.
tonight we're gonna be chopping it up, talking about the Woman King. We both saw it. We got opinions, and we wanted to, just kind of let y'all know how we felt from a father and son, black male, whatever kind of perspective or whatever. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
All right. So
Um I thought I watched the movie. I saw it last night. I thought it was really, really good.
yeah,
Um, I don't mean to be all black people on you, but it brought the black people out of me. They was doing the fighting and the chanting, and I was in there. I was in there. I was in the cut
gang.
the whole time. I felt it. I felt it. I felt the
Yeah.
movie from start to finish.
Yeah. I felt the same, man. I don't even want to be on here on some love fest shit, but when it's earned, it's earned.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was great to see. Like it had a historical drama kind of thing, like basically, like Gladiator. Like that was Gladiator for like black women. I don't know if you even
I
seen
don't even
Gladiator.
think I've seen Gladiator.
That's how young my children are. That's how young my children are. You were born, I think, the year after or something, Gladiator. But either way, Gladiator is just like this really high revered. Remember the dude who played Zeus in God of Thunder?
Yeah.
I mean, Love and Thunder. He
Yeah.
Slimmer was the star of
Of
Gladiator years and years ago. It's so dope that Grandma Morgan loves it.
mm-hmm.
So like that like it's a historical epic, but it's got action in it, and that's the same vibe they got with this one. Even like kind of on a Braveheart thing. Viola Davis, Lashana Lynch, they went in a movie that was directed by Gina Rock Bythewood. Who she directed. Have you ever seen like Love and Basketball?
No.
There's a couple of joints. I know she
Mm-hmm.
did one of the best man movies, but she's a legendary female black director. She also did you watch The Old Guard on Netflix?
Old what?
The Old Guard.
I think so.
I
No.
need you to get up on these things.
I'm not on it.
But
I'm not on it. I'm not on
It's
it.
fire though. You got to check it out. It's like some comic. It is a comic book joint. It's like more low key, kind of like The Boys, not like a Marvel DC type.
But it's like a comic.
Yeah, it's comic based.
Yeah.
But The Old Guard is fire. Charlize Theron. This is Gina by the Rocks. But I'm sorry. I'm probably mangling her name. Let me stop saying it. But this is her second action joint. And
What, The Woman King?
Yeah, The Woman King. And this
Oh, she directed it.
Yeah, she directed it. By the Wood, something by Rock by the Wood, something like that. She's been in like, I think she has something to do with Girlfriends, like a whole bunch of like iconic black entertainment, franchises she's been a part of. And in this one, they put her in there to really, bring it to life, and it was a dope script. The story is of the Dahomey tribe.
Yeah.
In a certain part of like historical Africa. These were definitely the real life inspirations for the Dora Milaje from Black Panther. But this movie, to correct an earlier point that was made on No Country, this movie was in development years before Black Panther ever even came out.
So they've been working on this movie for a while.
Yeah. So Black Panther was, just kind of taking the inspiration, and the author of that Black Panther at the time, Ta-Nehisi Coates, took the inspiration of the Dora Milaje from the Dahomey tribe. So, Viola Davis and her team went in on the more historical aspect, which is the actual tribe. They had conflict with the Oyo Empire and the Europeans. They were part of the straight slave trade. Now, this is an interesting part of it, of course, to me. They dealt with that tribe's main, or one of their main ways of getting money was being involved in the slave trade.
Yeah.
They would take captured
warriors. That was a big part of the movie.
Yeah. And part of it was they were trying to move away from that because, John Boyega was the new king, and he was trying to like set a new standard. And Viola Davis' character was like, why do we need to be involved in dealing with our people? And that was kind of like the main.
Yeah,
plot.
she was trying to find alternatives.
Right.
She was like,
right.
yo, we got this oil, we have all this stuff we can farm up, and then the whole aspect is like the dude's wives was like, with that, we're not farmers, we're warriors. We don't want to look like that. So it's about the image and how you want to be presented, and everything that was.
And it was also about in that one part where they were talking about how if you leave the slave, it's like some mafia shit.
Yeah.
Like if you leave the slave trade, you're not gonna have the same.
You're not gonna have the connections. Yeah. You make these connections with these people, and
Exactly. So that was an interesting plot point. And then there were some other little, subplots that were, I think, were kind of a little spoilerish. So I don't want to go into that. But overall, I mean, the movie was really well done, man. And I felt, like anytime I watch something now, it's difficult as a guy who grew up in my era, even if you're older and you're black, to kind of connect with Hollywood like you might want to. But when you do have those moments, like Black Panther, like Nope, like earlier this year, you know what I'm saying, like this.
I mean, all the films Jordan Peele's produced,
right,
all of them,
right. When you could connect to your own image like that, it's a powerful thing, and then for it to be a good piece of work. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that, it might be all black cast or all black director,
but it's like it's not powerful. There's certain movies that when they come out and when you watch certain movies, it hits. It brings the black out you.
That's my son.
That's my son
right there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Hey.
But this is one of those, man. And it's like you have this swelling of pride, man, that you're watching something that's so well done and so compelling. Because we went to different audiences, right? We went to different showings. Mm-hmm. So me and Mom went as a birthday gift.
How many people were in the theater?
It was pretty packed. It was.
When I went, there was only one other person.
Really?
And it was
it was late night.
It was an old white lady.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She was in the front, and I was all the way in the back.
That's crazy. That's like when I saw Django. It was on Christmas Day, the year it came out, and it was me, and it was like 5 other white people in it.
Yeah.
In Allen, though, in Texas.
Texas?
Yeah. So it was like it was a bugged out experience, but that's interesting, man. Because when we went, we went to the theater we usually go to, and it was like so shout out to we don't really believe the pandemic is over in this house. It's still wilding.
I mean, it's still not.
It's still wilding, but people dying down, and we got back out. We back outside. We've been to the movies a few times, and this, along with Nope, I had the pleasure of watching with a black audience, which I hadn't done in a really long time, and not just watching with a black audience, but with an audience that understands that. All right, don't talk through the whole movie.
No. You can't. You gotta be paying attention.
But when the bars come, you gotta let them go, and you know how to put them in like the pockets. You know what I'm saying? And that's we had that same experience. We were sitting next to some older black folks, and older black women in general. This is for y'all. Y'all gotta go check this joint out because
this is that movie. It's just empowerment all the way. Empowerment. At the end of the day. I mean, we're still black, but it's a black woman movie.
Yeah, man.
It's a black woman movie. And it's still really, really, really good. It's real good.
And this is something you could go see and like bring your daughters and your sisters and your aunts and, whoever, your grandmothers too. And they, like, we were sitting in a range of black women, and they were just like, just like to see. And I know what that feels like too, because, growing up, the stuff that you see up here and the things that I represent as an 80s kid, as much as I have reverence for them, a lot of times we were excluded, or if not totally excluded, we didn't have the level of representation. Like when you watch Star Wars as a kid of the 70s or the 80s, you want to see yourself in the center of the picture. So, I had a black Luke Skywalker figure, I colored it black, you know what I'm saying? But like now, if you have black children, a black daughter at times like this, they can look in a movie like this and see this, or even something like Black Panther and see, role models that look like them in a much larger platform. And this is something that's important, especially from my son. This is my oldest son, so to feel like he could watch something like that and look past his own masculinity and be like, look, man, this is fire. This is a kid who's an action fan. He grew up on action movies like I did. Grew up with appreciation of his own culture like I did, and like this isn't like a bias because we black.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, what I'm saying?
Even if you just wanted to see the movie not on the black aspect, it's still a good movie.
Right.
And it's still a good movie.
It's just an excellent movie across the board. It's well directed. The cinematography is dope. The action scenes, man.
The action was crazy.
The action scenes is hard, man.
There was three of them. That last scene, I was like, okay.
When they did
at the very end,
raid, the
night raid when they went to
like, and that's the thing too. Remove the gender, remove the race. If you're an action fan and you like war type of movies, conflict hand to hand,
I was gonna say that.
Got that.
This movie, it's not really a stereotype, but there's been with Marvel movies and DC movies, you generally tend to see women actors in action scenes, and they're always not. They're just not as coordinated.
They're not. They don't give them the same kind of.
They're like the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
This movie, it's up there. It's up there. It was going hard.
And for all of the He-Man woman haters that'll be like, oh well, that would be impossible because men would da-da-da-da-da.
Nah.
Mind you, this is based off historical fact, number one. Number two, just like did you watch Prey?
Mm-mm.
Dog, you got to get up on it, man. Prey on Hulu is another fire example of like, okay, so when you were dealing with women in the action genre, you're almost always gonna have them, coinciding with male actors. And what always ends up being this complaint is, oh, women are smaller, they're weaker, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, the most inventive examples of that, they take that into account and they make the fighting style and the style of the action accommodate the fact that there is a physical disadvantage. So these women,
that's a big part of the whole movie.
Exactly.
They're the smaller tribe, and there's these bigger tribes of all men, and they gotta train to be able to take down people who are three times their size.
They are making it known that just because these are women and because they like they even got strict rules about how they operate. No men. You know what I'm saying? They can't get distracted. They train.
Like, this is not like Mulan. Where it's a chick trying to be a dude and fighting with the other dudes. Like, this is, it's real.
And they're the most revered warriors in the whole region. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so gangster.
The slave trader people were pulling up and like, yeah, we don't want to mess with them. We don't want to mess with them.
No smoke. They were so nasty that when they walked up in the village after a victory, you couldn't look at them.
You can't look at them
because they was too clean. They was too nasty, and they always showed they kept it real. Every battle they had losses. Mm-hmm. Every time they showed an example of, okay, well, hey, no matter how strong you are, some dude that's 6'5" and 300 pounds might just yoke you up and get the best of you. But they were so coordinated and so well trained that, war, you're going to have losses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These were the people, these were the Marines. These were the people you wanted on your side if you were in these kind of conflicts. And then, like, the performances, man, they were just fire across the board.
Real good. From everybody. I don't think there was a single person in that movie that I was like, nah, I don't really like him. Or I didn't really like. Yeah. Usually when we go watch movies, there's always this couple people that you just be like, it's just a vibe that's off. The whole movie, I think everybody kind of fit in their role, real good in that.
Man,
movie.
Listen, of course, Viola Davis is like so out of here that you watch her and you're just mesmerized all the time and just how much she commits. But what was ill about this was like she wasn't like blowing everybody off the page.
Yeah.
Cause like Lashana Lynch, the one Izogi, the one with the net, bro.
Izogi went hard.
Bro,
movie.
Ooh,
I can't even talk about that.
I gotta stop playing with Lashana Lynch in these streets, bro. For real.
I mean, from start to finish.
She caught a body. Like a body was caught.
A couple off the first scene in the movie. She was catching. She was the first scene in the movie. She comes in the first action scene of the movie. The movie starts off in the action scene. She's the first scene. And she's murking.
Like I was watching her. I've been watching her since Captain Marvel. That's the first time I seen her.
She was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was Monica Rambeau's mom. The original Captain Photon, whatever.
Yeah.
Remember they had her in Doctor Strange also. She was the alternate universe Captain Marvel.
Oh, that was her in Doctor Strange.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Okay. And then you seen the last James Bond too, right? The final one.
I think I watched it with
No Time
guys.
to Die.
Yeah.
She was in that. She was the new 007.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, like she out here killing it in these streets. But that right there. Yo, I mean, I'm talking about like for my old heads, she did a Lorenz Tate old dog level performance, and for like your generation, I'm trying to think of somebody. I mean, it's probably her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There's not a lot of people out there that are like that.
Man, she caught a serious body, and then John Boyega, like okay, so John Boyega this year. We probably gonna do this on No Country with JD and Dave. A trailer reaction of they call Tyrone. They clone Tyrone. I seen that trailer recently. That looks ill. But then me and Mom went to see Breaking recently. That was super dope. Super dope. Him and Michael K. Williams, rest in peace. You got to go see that one also, or stream it whenever it comes out because that's a fire movie. But that. They clone Tyrone, and this right here, like he's having a crazy 2022 because he caught a body in this too, man. And like for all of y'all that's gonna be on it's really about the women, da da da. Like he played the king. You know what I'm saying? He was the young king, and so he established himself super dope in that movie, man. I mean, like look, and the younger. Character. I don't know the actress's name, but the character.
The main character. The main character, right?
Yeah. The young one. We don't want to tell why she's that.
Yeah.
Well, but she was basically made. That was another thing too. This is pitched as Viola Davis starring, but she really was kind of like a side character because the main actress. Let me look her up.
Look up her name.
Let me look that up right proper like.
Cause she went
in, bro.
I never seen her before. I was rooting for her the whole movie. I was like, "Yup."
Thuso Mbedu. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that's her name. Thuso Mbedu. She played Maui. She has a very critical role in The Woman King.
She's the main character.
She's the main character. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. She's the main character on the low. So, I mean, her performance, me never having seen her before, I was very impressed with her. And she's holding her own with them heavyweights that we was already talking about. So, overall, man, and then like I said, the direction was dope. The cinematography was clean. And it's just like, man, you get that vibe from Black Panther, like you got from Black Panther, or like you got from Get Out,
The reason why I like The Woman King more is because Black Panther had those parts, but it was really towards the end, that kind of end game feeling. They had an end game a little bit towards the end.
It's a corporate product.
It just didn't hit as much as The Woman King. That feeling that you get when you're like, oh yeah, it's about to go. Like
that's because your heritage is being displayed for real. Yeah. And other people get that same feeling in movies like you got the Bravehearts I've mentioned. You got the Gladiators, and you have like everybody else got these movies that bring them together as a culture, and that even if it's something that you're not familiar with as a subject matter, that pride comes in, and you're like, man, this is just a fire thing to even exist, and this represents me. And I feel myself being shown on screen.
I feel like this movie is directed and put together such a way. Even if you're not a person of color, watching the movie, you will still feel inspired. Yes. You still feel empowered watching the movie, even if you're not black. Right. And I feel like that's something that's really, really hard to do. With
it is. I agree, but I still feel like just for the
the movie is like 98% black. I think there's only
That's-
one or two white actors in the whole movie.
Look, no offense, that's my favorite part, man. It just feels, that's what I was getting at. It feels good no matter how much, and it's not cut off. White people, Hispanic people, Asian people, anybody of any nationality, like he said, can watch this movie, feel inspired, be entertained. But if you are black, if you are African, if you are of that descent,
it hits you in a way that it just won't hit everybody else.
Exactly. To have that representation on a big screen, to have dark skin and different variations of melanated people be on there and be powerful and not have the narrative controlled by somebody else, it's a great feeling. This is a great movie. Usually on No Country we do rating systems, not necessarily, it's kind of loose. If I had to rate this out of a 10, I'd give it a 8.5.
8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it 9.5. I really liked it. I really liked it.
The streets is talking. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
And the only reason I think, I don't know, it's just like I said, it just hit me different than the other movies that I've seen. And not only on top of that, it was a real good story. It had a lot of twists in there. And it'll touch everybody or reach everybody. The cinematography was dope. It was a real good movie all around. It was 9.5 for me. I really liked it.
I would agree, and I have different little points that I have that were keeping me at 8.5, but that's just to be conservative, because I could switch that to 9 or 9.5 next time I see it. I don't know, but it was a dope movie. It was worth going to see. It's out there in these streets right now. If y'all outside, raw dog in the air like everybody else is doing right now, then that's a great reason to go do it.
Streaming platforms are crazy, so it could be in your home in 2 weeks.
Listen, man. Either way, support this thing, because if you want to see more stuff like this, you got to go to the theaters. Or even if you don't go to the theaters, like I said before, man, just buy a ticket online and just throw that to somebody else, whatever. But Woman King, we definitely giving a huge, giant thumbs up. This is Big Dave from No Country. It's my son. I Lost Mari. Go look for all of his music out on every platform: Spotify, YouTube,
Apple
Tidal,
Music,
TikTok,
Deezer,
Apple Music. Man, listen,
anything. Just Google me.
It's in these East streets. We're gonna holler at y'all, and we're gonna do more of this stuff. Coming up. So stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? And man, I forgot. Subscribe. Act like you like this shit. I know y'all gonna be watching it. You know y'all like it. Just subscribe. It ain't nothing. It don't cost you nothing.
If you're already here, you might as well. You're already
here.
You might as well just press it. You're here right now. It's just light. Just go ahead and scroll and press that.
All right, it's light work. All right, one love, man. No Country. Peace.